Guys, I'm back with another video. I don't know if y'all saw, I've been posting like, 3 weeks now. You know, energy hasn't been there, keeping it a beam with you. Ignore the eye color. Look like I'm high out here, but allergies got me bugging. But you know what? It's been helping, taking a tablespoon of honey every day. Just hit up your local weird guy who has that bee farm. You know who I'm talking about, right down the street. He's got that bee farm. You already know he's got the shelter too, ready to go. You hit him up, get the local. Since they pollinate all the flowers around you, fixes your allergies. Normally I'd be like running, sneezing all crazy on this walk. I used to have no joke, I would have like 10 tissues with me when I'd walk around this time because I'd just be sneezing or blowing snot. So I'm not doing that. I'm like this, look. But it is what it is. Just want to say love y'all. I'm back with it. But today's video is probably going to be a long one because we're going to be talking about a lot of things. So I hope people, I don't make a lot of long videos, so hopefully y'all bear with me and we dive into the topics. I want to start with a little personal shit. So I want to start with about competitiveness. I was feeling down, almost existential crisis, because I was like, man, I'm not feeling competitive no more. I told you guys to play sports, and I'm like, why am I not feeling that? But then I really had to do a deep dive and reflection on why I'm not competitive right now. And I realized, and this is going to relate to you guys, I realized that my competitive drive was for me to do well. It didn't matter if the team lost. It didn't matter if we won. As long as I did well, that's all that mattered. If I performed bad, I would be upset. I don't care if we won and I did perform bad. I wouldn't care. And then I realized, I'm like, why? What is that stemming from? And it was a sense of unfulfillment in other areas in my life. I realized I was not meeting the standard I was setting in other areas. So if I say, if I perform well in something I'm good at, that will make up for what I lack in other areas. But since I've been growing so much in these past 2 years, I feel like this is the most I've grown ever. Which, and I'm not, we're always growing for the rest of our lives. But this leap I took, I think I filled up enough of those areas where I don't think the competitive drive is just not there. I have no drive to prove myself. That's what it is. It's proving myself. Competitiveness is proving your own worth, not only to yourself but to others. And you realize that energy that you're using to impress others, impress yourself, is a waste. That's the energy that could be used to healing the other areas you lack in. And once they get filled up, you're like, why would I waste that energy on other people who don't matter? It's all about me at the end of the day. Listen, I strongly dislike geese. I never had a problem with them. But it's just, they be just making noise. They be hissing at me when I'm walking. And I'd be like, listen here, close your mouth. I ain't got time for all that. Look, you hear them? All right, let me get back to the video. Second thing I was dealing with was just personal things. I told y'all, family, but it's in a different vein, because you know what it is? It's realizing, family, friends, it's realizing that this is not in a selfish way, but this is for everybody. You are the catalyst for everybody in your life. If you don't put the energy in, you don't get anything out. And that's kind of a shocker, because we're all of this belief that, everybody is putting in. No, they're not. Not everybody wants what you want. You think they want what you want. For example, my family is very divided, and I got them all together, been over 15 years, got them all together, literally 15 years, got them all together, and I was building this up. And I realized that, let me just take a step back and see how much, is this really real? The minute I pulled out, it's not real no more. And you realize how much energy, is getting preyed upon. And it's damn. People really, even your own family, friends aren't really real. They're only as real as they can be around you. You know, people are only as spiritual as they want to because they want to be around you. People only act like they know certain things because they want to be around you. Listen, I understand. I'm a full believer of faking it till you make it, but never fake it to be around people who don't reciprocate any energy. Never. Never waste your energy on people who don't reciprocate anything back to you. You don't get nothing out of them. You're really sitting back and you're thinking, what is my family? What are these friends give back to me? Oh, I put them on everything? I put them on everything. What do they put on for me? Somebody to talk to? Well, I don't really need to talk to somebody. I'm talking to this camera right here. I'm talking to people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even need people at the end of the day. And that's what I'm trying to say, that the more you get in tune, the more you don't even really need people. The more you free yourself, you realize these people are they're not consciously trying to bring you down, but subconsciously they want to be around you. They want to suck your energy. It is what it is. Now, moving on to, this is where, you know, that's the motivational shit. Now, this is where we about to get deep in here, deep in our bags, our spiritual bags right now. We about to go deep in here. And we're going to talk about, you know, what we're in, what situation we're living in. Look at the vibes, by the way. The vibes. Okay. Let me pause, reset, get back to it. First step, we understand we're in a virtual reality system. But like I said with Inception, this reality system is so strong, the minute you step into the reality system, you are instantly mind wiped. Instantly mind wiped. That's the key ingredient here, is because this is why I'm going to talk about dreams as well. I'm going to talk about the closed time loops. I'm going to be talking about all the different multiverses. I'm going to talk about the metaverse. And I'm going to explain how it's all just simply describing one thing. And it's all just, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, we all don't know what it's used for. It could be to harness our energy, could be used to harness our power, and at least leave one version of you somewhere where, you know, they can at least be like, oh, he doesn't know about that one, right? That version of himself, so we can at least harness energy from there. So we're going to try to break it down. I know it's going to be a little confusing. Hang in there with me, okay? Okay, so with all these themes in these movies, right? We got Inception, Tenet, Everything Everywhere, Dark, the TV show, Terminator. What's the common theme of when they get to their apex? Decision making needs to happen faster. Time is moving faster. Now, and the decisions they make affect their future, but really their past self. And that's kind of what I want to talk about, is that the parasites, the nanotechnology, the AI that we're going up against, right? It takes over these bodies, and then, you know, through degradation of society, look where we're at, right? Where, look at our standards. Temptation is so low, right? You know, and I hate to be like that corny dude, but it's true. Like, our values are lower, so the resistance, the temptation is lower. So when the temptation and the resistance is lower, it's everywhere, right? So for example, jerking off, porn, weed, alcohol, it's so freely, readily available, but it wasn't before. And what does that lead to? More temptation, more of the vices, which then create a host, which makes you more susceptible to the AI, which then when you and your wife get together, then your child becomes basically a prime host for the AI, and then they take over. That's what we're basically up against, right? That's why at the end of Terminator, right, the robot becomes a human. Because after years and years of battling, right, it's kind of like the host versus the master. The robots can't exist until we allow them, we create a space for them to live, right? So that's why in Terminator, you got to think more deeply. Terminator, the robot's trying to go back to kill John because it still thinks it can exist without its creator. And that's like the paradox, right? But I'm saying that's kind of what our reality is, what we're in right now. We are being, when I say Inception, we're being mind wiped. So we are in this reality system. We come in. We know, whatever our mission, who knows what it was. I don't know if they're trying to get our energy or whatever. Who knows what the harnessing is. But The goal here is to, just like how you played a video game and you've gone to sleep. Think about it. How many games have you played where there's a dream scenario in the game? You're playing the video game. The character goes under a dream scenario. So he's in the game. He doesn't know he's in the game. And he's in the dream in the game. Is that not what we're in right now? So what does that do? If you fall asleep in that dream, so basically right now we're in a dream within a dream within a dream. So that's why dreams are tied to your health. Your health. If you are having fragmented dreams, if you're having whole dreams, you got to really be able to pay attention to what type of dreams you have. I was able to lucid dream like crazy every single night and tapping in, and eventually it allows you to reconnect in your whole. That's why this is spoiler for Everything Everywhere, the movie, but she has multiple different multiverses of herself, right? And eventually she's able to condense into one. That's what this reality is. She's mind wiped, and she creates all these different universes where she's living in, because that's what, brings her ego happiness, right? But eventually she comes back into one. That's what the goal is. That's why the title of the video is Downward Spiral, because like in Tenet, you're moving forward in this life, right? I'm walking forward to better myself so that when I die, I knock myself out of the dream, Inception, to go to my lower self, Inception, right? How he wakes back up in his lower self. We got to take the deeper. That's why I said I had to ramble a little bit, because I had to break it down in deeper terms. So take all that in mind, right? Now, picture the downward spiral staircase where, that's supposed to symbol getting back to your true self. The reality, the AI is trying to fragment yourself through different types of realities, not reality systems because it's all one, but it's trying to trap you into all different types of dreams within a dream, is what I'm trying to say. So when you knock yourself out, you go down, you're going back to your true self, right? That's why, can you picture, do you guys remember the Alan Watts, going down the boat, right? Or, in the boat going down the stream, and it's just going straight down the stream the whole time, eventually eclipsing itself. That's what this life is. So what happens is we're going to go down the boat, right? The original you, the first you. You're going to go down the boat. Then you're going to go over again, and it just re-wipes that memory. But the thing is, that original you is always there. It's always there. It's just kind of like rode over top of it, right? Like, think about like a video game where there's like modded, or like a movie that's dubbed, right, with like audio. The original film's there, the real voice is there. There's just a dub on top. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's happening. We're just constantly dubbing over top of our original lives, and then we have to unwound, which is like Tenet, right? They're moving forward to get back down to their ultimate true self, to eventually get to their true self, right? Because in the beginning of Tenet, that's not their current versions of themselves. So I know it sounds like a lot. I know what I'm saying may sound crazy, but I mean, it makes perfect sense in the reality that we're in. Look how chaotic it is. Look at the temptation we're in. I mean, you can't even, it's so hard to resist or fall off nowadays. Why? Why do you think that is? When the AI is freely like taking control, it can induce temptation anywhere, right? It needs to make more hosts, but I bet you got to think though, back then it wasn't as, like, it was almost shamed. It was almost shunned upon to indulge in and behave like this. Now we promote insecurity, we promote narcissism, which only creates more. That's literally, like, if my parents are narcissists, so a lot of our parents that generation are narcissists, so a lot of the kids are narcissists. If your parents are insecure, then your kid's gonna be insecure. It's the same thing. So how's that all tie in the metaverse? It's just exactly like I said. It's a game within a game within a game. You gonna get, and then eventually, so what's gonna happen is you're gonna get into the game and create a reality in that game, which then creates another reality on itself. Because like I said, at the end of the day, they can only operate off of your brain power, right? So you're pretty much giving life to it. So think about what we're about to be trapped in. I mean, I'm trying to get out of this bitch. But imagine what people are going to be trapped in. They're going to be trapped in a game, a virtual reality game, within several layers of dream versions of themselves, like Everything Everywhere, right? She, and that's another thing. She indulged in them. She was like, I like those realities of me. But then she realized that those aren't real. This life is real. That's the whole point of it. And that's what's going to happen. And a lot of people don't think that's what's happening. But if you are lacking dreams, that's because you're so fragmented. You're so like messed up. That you won't, I mean, it's going to take a lot. I mean, it's going to take a lot of work, and I think you can tap in, but I think it goes through a lot of trauma because you don't feel the trauma. And that's kind of how they get away with it. They hide the trauma. So like, they don't want to know that, they don't want you. So if this life is going good, that's because they rocked you to sleep. You think you don't want to wake up because you're like, this life good. I'm not really doing anything. I don't got no struggles or anything. Why do you think that is? You don't think your past lives have struggled so much to create a reality where you don't want to struggle no more. So then when you first fully tapping in and you start, you're like, oh, wow, where all these feelings come from? That's all the versions of yourself congregating, telling you what's been going on. So, like I said, with the metaverse, the metaverse is, I think there's a deeper thing. I think with the heavy aluminum thing everybody took, right? What the goal of that was. A lot of people think with the heavy aluminum, you know what I mean, that you had to take, they think that, oh, it's going to sterilize people, it's going to sterilize people. We're not going to have kids and stuff. They don't care about the kids. They want your energy. I truly believe what it's actually going to do is when they finally fully flip that switch, whenever they flip the switch between, like the AI have taken over, but like not fully. But when they fully take over, whatever that was in there, it's going to flip the switch and it's going to put you in the reality system. They're going to override, like, you know how we have Project Bluebeam, right? And it's like, the grid, we're going to illusions and everything. But imagine that when they just flip the switch on, you are already thrown into the metaverse. Like, so if they couldn't get you to buy the metaverse, well, they're going to throw you on, like, you subconsciously in it. Real shit. You don't think it's possible, but it is. I mean, just think about what we're living in right now. I'm trying to tell y'all. I mean, like I said, this is a lot of rambling. This is crazy. I know. Haven't got it all out yet. But I just wanted to, kind of let you guys know that a lot of these movies are telling the truth, but it's just deeper. It's just like they're trying to show it in a cool sci-fi way. But what's really going on is, like I said, who knows how many lives you've lived. It's all just one, but it's just fragmented upon different realities that you're in, that you put yourself through. These are trauma responses at the end of the day. I hope what I said made sense. It's frustrating talking about this stuff because I don't have the answers, and I understand we understand what we have to do. The first step is fully realizing who you are and taking steps. And that's through simply stop distracting yourself. That's the only advice I can give you, that stop distracting yourself. Because feelings and emotions and symbols and codes are trying to reach you. But when like, for example, I don't even listen to music anymore. And I noticed when I walk and don't listen to music, I think more. But when I'm consuming music, my body is processing it. I don't think, I know that sounds crazy, but you got to think. Just because it's not food, it's still light, right? Audio is light. Everything is light. So my body's still breaking something down. It's still processing. So me consuming music, not able to process anything else that wanted to come up. Oh, well, look, we got to consume more music. You got to consume more food. You got to constantly consuming. If we got to just take a break, take a step back and say, I need to learn and tap in with myself. A lot of people are scared because they feel it. And that's the thing. A lot of people will watch this and be like, yo, none of this stuff makes sense. None of this stuff makes sense. But at the same time, when they're alone and they're and they start to think and they start to feel a little something, what's the first thing you do? You run from it. You put on some music, you put on something to distract you. That means that you are feeling what I'm talking about. You just don't know that that's that feeling because you run from it all the time. You don't know what it means, but that's what it means, I'm telling you. All right, I'm out. I gave y'all 20 minutes, no homo, of straight hits. Pause. And that drained me. I might not even put out a video for a while after that. Hope y'all appreciate it. I tried my best. Like I said, I ramble. I love y'all. It's Brandon. Be safe out there.